What's happening now across the Niagara frontier? News stories, old stories, stuff you know about and stuff you'd never believe. It's the Niagara Hub Soapbox with Craig Avery.
Welcome back. Jonathan Rogers is back, our area famous artist who has graced the art alley with that beautiful. Your title was, you've got 200 of them or something that is the same.
Oh, on the same theme.
Same theme.
Yeah, Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah. It's an interesting theme. It's such an icon for America.
Mm-hmm.
And but happiness comes and goes. You know, you're happy 1 minute, and half an hour later you can be miserable.
Right.
We discover that we need some substance in our life to provide long-lasting, steady happiness. And that's not easy to achieve often.
It usually comes in the form of food many times, right?
When it's down to that, yeah, you got problems that tend to dominate your pursuit of happiness.
There you go.
Yeah.
But art in general, and especially your form of art, is a neat way to reflect what's right here. Is that what you're...
Here and here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's a combination. It's it's becoming more interesting in sort of reverse ratio to my energy.
Wow.
I'm 80 next month.
Wow.
80 years. I never thought I would see this. So I'm fading out, but I'm getting a much broader and deeper and more revealing perception of what it is to be alive and doing what we do.
Cool.
Well, I'm an artist. And one of the things an artist can do is to make marks. That's all we do, really. We just make marks on things. And we can make marks that other people look at and see something else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Go for it.
Let's
And we
pretend.
just happen to have an easel right
Yeah,
there.
right.
Like the
But
TV shows.
We're back in the prehistoric cave, and I've got a piece of charcoal here.
Perfect.
You know.
By surprise. And watching those TV shows, you never look for those shows, but you always find them when you're flipping around, and then you're captivated by watching these guys. So
Yeah.
here we are.
So. Is it a hole, or is it a hula hoop, or what is it? So, all of a sudden, it means something. It's not just marks on a surface anymore. This is meaningful. People look at it and they, oh, it's a face.
Yeah.
And watch this. Let's make this the change anything for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only there's a finishing touch I'm going to do in a minute. Different mood, different emotional response. Now this is the finishing touch. This is how we are.
Yeah.
And it's a signal to us, and our minds can interpret these marks on this, in a totally revealing way.
A couple little marks, and you've embodied body language immediately.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Who do you want to hang out with? Who do you want to get up in the morning to look at?
I don't know, probably this guy, because it makes me look better then. Right?
All
So there you go. You want to be with that guy, you're going to look like a chump if you're with the smiley guy all the time.
Yeah, I get. Oh, yeah. True.
Hang out with somebody that's miserable and you look good. Right?
Yeah.
My interpretation.
That's I've never heard that before. Not exactly. I heard many responses to this kind of thing. But now, if you go from simple piece of charcoal to paint, now these days we've got huge supplies of colors in tubes
textures.
and jars and stuff, and you can squeeze them out like toothpaste on like this. And you take a brush and you dabble into them and you mix colors, and you can stick them on a flat surface. And if you arrange them in a certain way, when somebody looks at them, they don't see marks on the surface, they see something else entirely.
Wow. Right.
So if you want to see this taken to heights, look at the Dutch school of the golden age of Dutch painting, of still lifes, and they put this in the shade. I mean, this is nothing at all.
Sure.
Those guys were incredible. And there are still a few people who bother to do that. It doesn't interest me, because photography is taking care of the whole thing. You want to document, take a shot with a, well lit with a fine lens, and you got it.
But that's to me, that's like live music versus recorded music.
Oh, really?
You created that with some colors out of a tube.
Right.
Photographer just takes the picture.
Yeah,
he
right.
can adjust it a little bit, but you appreciate live music a little more than listening to a CD or a...
Yeah, there is that expression, that human expression element in it.
Sure.
The craft, the skill, the actuality of it. And interesting that, this is not a glass of wine at all. It's paint.
Right.
And somehow it captures the glass of wine I was looking at,
Right.
and it brings it into a sort of everlasting stillness.
And as someone's watching you do that, though, they don't know what it's going to be. If you see people taking these selfies and they take the picture and then they look at it and they look surprised. Well, what do you think it looked like? The two of you are sitting there, you go like this, and that's what it looks like. But they have to look at it and say, that's wonderful. But that was instant. You created that. No one knew what was going on until you really started forming it.
Well, yeah, this is true. And I can present it to anybody and they go, whoa,
Yeah, cool.
However, this is obsolete. It's history.
All right.
What photography has done for the artist is to free us up to express something else entirely other than a physical image. And it's interesting that when photography did come along in the late 19th century, it wasn't long before, well, it was about the same time when technology and manufacturing had produced mass weapons of mass destruction, bombs and tanks and guns and stuff like that, and artists began expressing the fears that everybody was having and still have. The world's crazy. We can't understand it. We slash, bash, drip, splat. Abstract. This is it. It's horrifying. It's upsetting. Yeah. So, since then, for me anyway, I've wanted to take that kind of emotional and intellectual response to reality and channel it through recognizable imagery. Because there's something marvelous about recognizable imagery. It's recognizable. It's not, you don't look at it and say, oh, my 4-year-old could do that, you know.
Right.
It's just rubbish. No. I'd like to talk a little bit about my series called Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay.
And this is what can be done with the imagery of the pursuit of happiness. And there are a couple of things that are symbolized here. One is we're going from dark to light, okay? We're going from the past, the dead, the gone, that we depend on for our liftoff, for our leverage to propel forward. And if we're lucky, we're happy.
Yeah.
I've got over 200 of these. And they're all different. All the moods are different. I've done a few with the image of death in the past. The mural is a good example of that.
Mural in the art alley. Well, here he's still anchored in the past. He's not yet quite got into that, right? His foot is up and he's ready to. He's anticipating his happiness, but he's not there yet.
Well, that's a form of happiness too.
The anticipation.
Happiness is often found in the pursuit of it.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, this is looking good. My hopes are high. My expectations are there. Yeah,
Like
let's
the
go.
drive on the way to the Bills game. You're excited. And
Yeah.
then on the way home, you're
Yeah.
back here.
Yeah. Well, I like to say it ain't always a walk on the beach.
There you go.
And so I did this one. And
Wow.
this is for anybody who knows what it's like to feel failure, hopelessness, despair, depression. But you gotta keep going. Even when you're not even properly defined in yourself, This has no outline, it has very little structure, it's sort of amorphous. But there's a light that we get, and it's a feeling that it's greater than ourselves. It's something other than. And I don't want to get into that kind of philosophy right now, but it's an experience. And everybody knows it. Even atheists will find it impossible to deny that there are powers and forces greater than ourselves in this universe. It's just that the idea that God is a man up in the sky, is nutty. So,
Right. But that walk in the beach there, that could be a walk in the beach at night, which could be just as exhilarating as a walk on the beach today.
Truly.
And that God in the sky up there is just kind of hanging out saying, there is light up here, don't worry, you're safe. It's dark, but there's beauty in the darkness.
Ha! Easy for you to say.
So we could go on the road together and we just keep...
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, I know what that's like. Obviously, so do you.
That's cool.
So I've put a bunch of Pursuit of Happiness paintings in my auction at Wine on 3rd this week.
What's the
Sunday?
day? This coming Sunday?
Which is
Sunday. March
6 o'clock, yeah.
20. Who's got a calendar? We all have to pull our phones out or something.
Yeah, right.
The cameraman must have a...
26th.
March 26th.
March 26th,
Sunday.
yes.
In the afternoon or what?
Starts at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yep.
Wine on 3rd. And
Yeah.
a lot of your paintings, they're up there now.
Yeah,
You can go during the week and
there
see
are
the
36 of them altogether.
paintings that are...
And there's about a dozen of Pursuit of Happiness. There's some still lifes, like that wine glass,
Right.
and some beer glasses.
Cool. And how is the auction
inspired-
going to run? Do you have an auctioneer?
Oh, the best. The best.
Who's that?
Brooke D'Angelo.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Okay.
she's great. I've seen her. I asked her if she would play that role, because I saw her manage the auctions for the NAC,
Okay.
which were at Wine on 3rd also.
Cool.
And she's ace. And
All
we
right.
get along, so we can sort of host the show together, and we'll
And we-
see what happens.
And would this be something you could do every 6 months? Do you have enough artwork that you might, if this catches on, would we see more auctions, or is this kind of a once in a...
I don't have any plans.
Okay.
For one reason, I have a major show coming up in one of the biggest venues in the country, actually, a major place, the Birchfield Penny in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And they're frustratingly remote and silent about the details, but I'm assured that I have a major show there.
Okay.
And we've talked about the space in the gallery for it, and it's perfect.
All right.
And that's where my big paintings will go, the
Yeah.
big 6 foot, 7 foot jobs.
Right.
And it'll be more than the pursuit of happiness. There'll be some, well, I would need, I can talk about those big paintings, but I need them here for us to talk about. And so, as for I've got lots of small works also. I just don't have any plans for
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that'll be exciting.
And I can't get a show. Nobody will give me a show.
No?
No. I go into galleries in Buffalo, and they say, "Oh, well, get out of here," So,
I don't know how the art world works. I don't know if you gotta know
Dave
somebody,
beats
or
me.
you just gotta do something that your 4-year-old could do, or what is it? But
yeah.
all right, cool. Well, you got us thinking, that's for sure. And I'd love just the concept of what you did with the marks on the paper. That's all you're doing, is you're putting marks on the paper, and people's eyes are translating it into something meaningful or something not meaningful.
Yeah, and when we get to these levels of feeling and emotion and perception, I usually don't understand what I'm doing until I see it evolve on the surface. I'm very instinctive in that way. I don't think it up.
Right.
I will often have a vague sort of concept, and sometimes I don't. But I have developed I guess it's a talent, it's an ability that I've learned to trust. I learned it from portraiture, where I let it come out of my hand onto the surface. And then I can manipulate it a bit. Then I get some ideas and I alter this or that, adjust the composition and the color and so on. But most of it is very, very instinctive. And it's exhilarating. Yeah. It's kind of exciting.
You gotta trust your talents and let it go.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, look at that. So we got March 26th, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Line on 3rd. Cross the street. Lots to do on 3rd Street now. 6 o'clock. There's also the craft across the street, so you can go to the art auction, try out the new restaurant in town.
Yeah.
I hear there's a yoga studio starting on 3rd Street. Lots of things
That's
happening.
right.
So,
yeah.
So we're anxious to see you there, and you'll be the guy with the hat on.
Oh, yeah. There's a picture of me on Facebook wearing this hat, and I thought, well, I'll wear it for the interview. You've got a hat, too.
I wore a hat, too. In honor of you. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks
Pleasure
a lot,
to have
Craig.
you here again.